Love and light, everyone. This is Reiki Reverend, and a very warm welcome to A Healer's Musings. This is the podcast where we talk about healing and the healing arts. This specific segment is based on the Light of Grand Source manual that is available on ReikiReverend.com. There you can find a number of healing courses and services, as well as psychic courses and services, as well as life coaching. This is all a very amazing coming up events to celebrate the incorporation of Reiki Reverend LLC. As you may notice, I've changed from Pathways to Limitless Light to Reiki Reverend, and this is to reflect that business change. Now, before we get into this, I do want to say that I am really happy and thankful to now have a spot on Spotify, and I am so excited to really dig deep and get started just talking about healing. Speaking of healing, I do want to make a quick segment about detachment from the results. And this is specific with channeled healing, which I covered in the last episode. When it comes to channeled healing, we are attaining energy and then transmuting it through love and light and sharing it with the intended target or recipient. We are not inherently owning that energy, and as a result, we're not inherently owning the results, or at least we shouldn't inherently own the results of those healings. Take Reiki, for instance, and I'll use an example from my own life. When there was a tornado warning the other day, I did a rite. I channeled healing for better part of 45 minutes, the duration which the storm was hovering over our area here in Ottumwa. And that storm, needless to say, it crapped out pretty hard. But it wasn't that the storm was really damaging, or at least as damaging as I felt it could have been. Now, the anxiety was there, the fear was there, all those things that are involved with being a dad of 2 kids and having a family and, having a house and all those other good things. But I wasn't worried about that. There was also the matter of concerning myself with everyone around me, just worrying about their well-being and whether or not they would be able to commute to their jobs or from their jobs. I know there were delivery drivers out there, God bless their souls. There was just a whole bunch of things out there for me to focus on over the course of that Reiki session. And I really wanted to just offer comfort above anything. That was my intention, to offer comfort and protection for my own dwelling as well as everyone else. So when I went in to channel Reiki, I didn't go in with the formal intention on channeling healing as much as I did using the Reiki symbols to facilitate that. And as I was channeling, I constantly dug deep. And by dug deep, I mean I really went in and just allowed the Reiki to shine at its highest vibration from the heavens down and really just show itself in full force. And I think it did a beautiful job. And I say the Reiki did a beautiful job, not me, because I was frazzled a little bit on the inside. I'm not going to lie. I was nervous. I mean, the winds I could deal with, but the hail and then hearing limbs hit my house, it was nerve-wracking. I sat with my daughter in the kitchen doorway while my girlfriend and my son were in the living room, and, you know, we were all a little stubborn when it came to our safety and well-being, simply because it wasn't a watch. At least in my opinion, it wasn't a watch, so I didn't put precedence on it. I didn't think, okay, it's time to hit the basement, take the kids down to the basement, because if you're a parent, you understand that there is a point in your life where you have to take priority on your own comfort, your own well-being, your own safety mentally, to actually go out there. And let's face it, you know, I got a 2-year-old and I got an infant. All right, now to try to lock both of them up in a basement for who knows how long, just to make sure that they are, you know, perfectly safe and okay, which I was willing to do, but I didn't want to do that unless I really had to. Because the 2-year-old, he's a 2-year-old. He would do nothing but just sit there and run around and just mess all those things that, you know, we really don't want him touching up. And, you know, that basement's not properly finished, but I'm digressing. As I was channeling Reiki, I constantly detached from the results. Much like I'm doing here, explaining all this, I'm detaching from the results. I wasn't worried about the Reiki healing everyone at, you know, to full, well, I'm just going to say to full HP just because I'm a gamer, but healing everyone, you know, broken limbs, messed up houses, and all this other stuff, focused on, you know, focused on and preying on their emotional well-being and their state of mind, yes, but not focused on the result that was inherent in doing that. And so, yeah, I felt great. I felt absolutely great as I channeled that Reiki, because I let go. I allowed for the Reiki to do exactly what it needed to do as it needed to do it. I allowed its inherent intelligence to shine bright, and as a result of all of that, I was shown this wonderful picture that I have on my Instagram page. And, yeah, it was great. I really felt amazing afterwards, and I know that, you know, just seeing that sunshine through my window as I took the picture, there was this beautiful just radiance about it that just told me, you're on the right path. Keep going. And so, when it comes to calling yourself, you know, putting yourself out there to say, okay, I heal, and if you have an affliction, I've totally got your back. That's setting yourself up. That's asking for anybody, to walk up to you with a terminal disease and ask for healing. And you have the confidence, or the mental confidence at that point, you know, the ethereal confidence, should I say, to go about it in such a haphazard way. I mean, you may channel Reiki effectively, you may channel healing effectively, and don't get me wrong, if you do, that's perfectly fine. If you have success stories that are that epic, I applaud you, I thank you, and I welcome you into the grand circle of amazing healers. But let's look at it from another perspective. What happens if you don't actually completely heal that person with a terminal illness? What if you end up, you know, much like with willed healing, what I'm going to explain here shortly, what if you only end up treating the symptom? What if you only end up healing the symptom? What if you only end up working on that person just enough to make them feel better? What if after that, weeks later, they end up coming down with such an illness? And, you know, as Reiki does, it will show you this in such a way that it may not affect you completely legally to the point of stupidity, but you may feel, a certain way. You may feel a certain way afterwards if things go south. And you may feel a certain level of drop in your confidence, in your capacity to heal and grow from that event. And that could be very damaging to not only yourself, but if you're a Reiki practitioner, in a business, or a healer practitioner in a business, or even a teacher running a business, then what's to say of what's going to happen right then and there? Are you going to stop? No, but what happens from there? Does the effectiveness of your healing go down? To an extent. And, that's in the very least. So, I'm just saying out there to all the healers and all the practitioners, it may not be the best idea to position yourself out there as one who is able to heal all. That's all I'm saying. In any case, on to willed healing. So, imagine if you would, what it would feel like to push a boulder with nothing but your mind. Put yourself fully into that moment of flexing your mental muscles and using that power that you don't fully know or understand to just move it, reposition it, get it from point A to point B. Now, take that same premise, but this time visualize the body and allow yourself to imagine a place in time where you have a deeper understanding of energy and try to see in your mind what that would look like in your mind's eye. Now, take an inventory of what you're seeing. It may be an important reference for later. What is willed healing? Willed healing is a means of healing like channeled healing, with an obvious difference that I'll take a moment to discuss. Normally, when we draw energy or focus it, we do so by subconscious will, mere thought. When we change over that subconscious will into a conscious desire, when we know we want it, we now enable ourselves to manually control the flow of energy around us. This includes affecting the environment and others. So, put in a really loose metaphor, channeled healing is to automatic shift in a car, whereas willed healing is more of a stick or a manual. What this means in terms of healing is that though understanding this premise and training in its implementation, one can greatly improve the flow of energy in their bodies and the bodies of others. Clearly, this can be just as valuable as channeled healing. However, there are some drawbacks that should be made very clear. First, you are using more of your energy than what is being produced normally, and it is interacting with others as per your intention or desire. This can be very risky, not only for the client or the recipient, but also the healer. It is a very easy thing to take on the client's illness or their issues without proper protection. And there are a lot of healers out there who are not not strong with their shields, who are not great with their shielding, who end up taking on the client's or the recipient's illness and think, okay, well, I'm just an empath, this is normal. No, it's not very normal. It's something that could hurt you in the future if you're not careful. By taking on all of that, you are now putting the weight of, Billy Bob right on your shoulders, and you're carrying that around with you. You may not even realize it, but it's traveling with you throughout the day. And if you don't ground and center after that, which is another thing that most teachers don't really push out there for their, new students, it can be very haphazard. I know myself, when I'm teaching, I try to make that apparent, I try to make that a thing, but it slips through the cracks. Let's be honest, it slips through the cracks, and you don't always bring it up until your student comes to you a few weeks later where it's like, hey, well, I practiced on this person, and all these things happened. Well, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you ground? Did you shield? What's those? What are those? Oh, well, you don't understand them. Okay, well, let me break that down for you. Grounding is when you sit in a spot, or you think about sitting in a spot, or you relax your mind to the point where your energy flow is just going straight downward through your base chakra, through your feet chakras, into the earth. you are going so far down into the earth with your energy, and then all of that cycling right back up, and you're getting new energy. It's kind of like what happens when you take a glass or a dish and you wash it. When you take old water and you change out the old water with new water. Same thing with any other premise. A part of any healer's process should definitely include calling in protection prior to initiating a session. Another disadvantage is how this method can make you feel at first. Healing others through will alone can be very draining. It may feel great at first. You may feel this sudden burst of energy as you call all that energy to you, as you shove it into your chakras, as you push it out and towards the other person. But guess what? Eventually it's going to leave. It's going to leave as you heal. And doing it too much could easily create discomfort, or worse, for the untrained or unprepared healer. Finally, the chief reason why this method is discouraged is that while it can be very effective at reducing the immediate symptoms, like I said, there is a good chance that because the issue was not allowed to properly be met and resolved naturally, it may resurface in the future. In Reiki, we teach that you work on the illness or disease, the reason for the illness or disease, not the symptom, but the reason. That is to say, if I tripped, fell, and busted my foot on the ground, what was I doing before I tripped and fell? What caused me to trip and fall? You heal that, you work on that, you assess and help the client recipient with that after the session. This is to create a holistic or a whole healing within the person being healed. Willed healing is a very good thing to know and understand, however. If an immediate remedy is necessary and there is no other course of action, then willed healing can provide relief. If you don't feel like you're a confident channel for Reiki, or if you don't feel as if you are able to, call in all that energy in the traditional manner or form, then yes, willed healing has its place. It definitely has its place. If you have a headache, then most likely you're not going to call in Reiki for a headache. You're going to try to just shove it out. And that's because a headache's a headache. However, if you do go about the process of trying to channel Reiki for that headache, then you understand what the benefits could be now. You understand that if you treat the headache, then you are also treating the reason for the headache, and you are also assisting yourself in the long run for the future. Think about it like Advil, Tylenol theory. If you take an Advil, Tylenol, hop a pill for your illness, for your disease, your discomfort, you take in that willed healing, then guess what's going to happen? Miles down the road, that illness, disease could come back, and it could come back worse. So you might need more, then more, and then more. And eventually, you're not going to be able to just get regular, comfort or relaxation or, release from that healing anymore. You're going to need something better. That's where Reiki comes in. Reiki is universal, omnipresent. It is strong within the force. It is there. And it can and will help you on all levels, no matter the cause. And it operates on the highest vibration possible, should you allow it to do so. There are so many people out there who claim that Reiki is ineffective. I almost guarantee you that those people have not worked with Reiki long enough to see its highest benefit. There are various exercises and methods to practice willed healing, however, but I have found that it is best to use your best judgment and intuition in collaboration with the information presented here and all of your resources when deciding a method for willed healing. There are so many things out there that you could do. You could do the whole boulder method where you just kind of push the healing out. You can do a pulling method where you're going in energetically and just kind of easing the energy out. I say easing out because you don't want to be ripping out people's energy. That's a little messy. But, you got all different types. You think it, you can do it. That's what I teach my students. You think it, you can do it. As with any healing practice, it's important to know how to protect yourself and the people you'll be working on. Knowing proper shielding techniques, knowing proper grounding techniques is paramount to your practice. If you don't know it, I suggest you seek out an instructor right now. As a matter of fact, I probably will do an episode on this later, but if you need that instruction now, feel free to contact me. That's contact@ReikiReverend.com, or you can just go to ReikiReverend.com and fill out the form and, send me an email. Let me know. If you want to take a formal Reiki course from me, that's perfectly fine too. I'll teach you in that course. Just let me know what you need, and I will do that for you. I am a certified life coach. I am also a certified psychic. I can help you out on so many different levels with so many different things. It's gotten a little massive at this point. But, needless to say that no matter what your issue is, I might have a solution for you. So, feel free to contact me. Reiki Reverend, ReikiReverend.com, a healing muse. And that's all I've got for you guys today, so let's just end in Reiki. Calling all angels, archangels, guides, ancestors, devas, deities, and any other entity that wish to be a part of this rite, so long as you come in love and light, in full love and light. I ask you to show yourselves now. Chokure seiki onshaze shonen dai komyo chokure seiki onshaze shonen dai komyo chokure seiki onshaze shonen dai komyo. Love and light, everyone.